Hi everybody, it's the Soap Man. I'm going to cut the soap that I made yesterday. It's been 21 hours, which is ample time for my soap to cure and be ready to cut. It's a little darker than I was thinking. I was thinking the colors would be lighter, but they look kind of neat. I love the way the side looks at this, and the top turned out nicer than I thought. And it's just so nice and smooth and slick, so let's just really see how it turns out. I'm a little concerned because it's dark, but let's just see. The only way we're going to know is to cut them. So these are the two that I had left over that I put into the muffin mold. So I was going to use these for myself because they just don't really look all that great. But actually I think I'm going to add these to some others and make a confetti soap later. But here we go. It is dark, a little darker than I was hoping, but I still like it. Very nice. Oh, that one really looks nice. It's actually wanting to bow a little bit. When I was making this yesterday, I was just watching the video before I get ready to upload it. And at the very, very end, I was talking about a water reduction and not using titanium dioxide so I could prevent soda ash. Well, actually, soda ash is what happens on top when the unsaponified lime mixes with the carbon dioxide in the air, and that gets this kind of like white ash on top. That's not what I was meant. I was using a water reduction, a cool temperature, and not using titanium dioxide to prevent glycerin rivers. That's what I meant to say, glycerin rivers, not soda ash. But in this case, I sprayed the top with rubbing alcohol twice. That prevented the soda ash, and cooling the soap, not using titanium dioxide, I prevented glycerin rivers. I did insulate it and let it go through gel phase. Now if you see me doing this, pushing it down, it's soft and it's making just a little bit of a bow when I cut it, so that's why I'm doing that. I'm pushing it on the counter to flatten it back out. My last video, I had mentioned that several of you have a single wire cutter that I've not been able to find, and several of you wrote into me and told me where you found yours, and it's from a guy named Bud on Etsy.com. Well, guess what? I found it and I ordered one. The only reason I don't, well actually a couple of reasons, I don't get one of the great big ones, like it has multiple wires and you just pull it down and it makes you one cut and makes several bars. The only reason I don't do that, actually two reasons. For one, it's expensive, and this is not a business, this is a hobby, and that is, some of them are like $200 and $300. But I saw a single wire cutter that a lot of you have had, and it really looks nice, and I went ahead and ordered it. It probably shipped either yesterday or today, so I might have it next week when I do this. It was quite a bit less expensive, but the main reason, shoot, there they go, like dominoes. You see me cutting thin bars, and the reason I do that is, as I mentioned, this is a hobby, it's not a business. I give these out as part of a community project with the church, and I want to be able to give a lot of them out to a lot of different people. And I give them every week, and there are people there every week looking forward to it. That's why I cut my bars thin. Those multi-cutting bars usually cut about a 1-inch thick bar, and if you're selling it, that's a great size bar. But when you're giving it away like I do, I'm really looking forward, really looking to get more like a hotel bar size of soap. That's why I cut mine thin. That's why I've never bought one of the wire cutters. But hopefully, quite possibly next week, I'll have my single wire cutter like a lot of you have. And it's a homemade one. It's custom made in his shop at his home. It's not, you know, a big company. They're also made here in the United States. I'm really pleased with this, even with these dark colors. Looks really nice. But they are thin, and pushing it back down like that flattens it back out. Very nice. And I like that the colors, even though the batter was very, very thin, I like that the colors did not morph together or fade. They stayed true to their own color. You can see each individual color, and I put 6 of them. Very nice. So here you have it. This is the Tilted Tiger Swirl with 6 colors that really stand out. I really like this. Those are the 2 with just leftovers. I'm probably going to use those to make a confetti soap. I've got a couple of other bars. The ones I made last week, the camera really just does not pick it up other than that bright, bright orange. But they're starting to look better as they're starting to cure. This is the one I'll give out next week. That one just needs a week to cure. That one, some of them fell over, but that was my spoon plop. You know, that's the one with the first time I had used cocoa butter. So I'm really pleased with this. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which I generally do keep 5 weeks of soap made ahead of time. So I always have one ready to go. Anyway, that's what I have. Everybody, thanks for watching, and I will see you next weekend. Have a great weekend.